watched him call a college basketball game, it was exactly like that. All right. I get the pleasure of giving the speech about these handsome gentlemen. So I'm going to get right to it while they set up. And hope you enjoy a little history lesson on the electric waistband. Make some noise for the waistband before I start talking. Electric Waistband's weekly Winston's residency started in February 1992 when Bill Winston gave them a gig. 4 February Mondays. When March came, they didn't know if they still had the gig. No one had talked to Bill, so they showed up. They didn't know if another band would be there. If another band was there, then we don't have the gig. But there wasn't, and they've been showing up ever since. Lead guitarist Bob Harvey went... I love it. Went to Cal Western Law School and met Howard Coven there, who got them their first gig, though no one asked him to. One could fairly blame the waistband on him. The first residency they had was in 1989 back at Dream Street, Fridays. That place was bad. Scandalous, even. But Dream Street was big for EWB. Howard booked their first gig there. It was a 3-hour gig, but they only had 90 minutes of music, so they repeated everything. They played one tune right the second time, Franklin's Tower, and they thought, if we can get one right, we could get them all right. Another band named Mud played at Dream Street frequently, and their drummer was Ed Fletcher. Howard and Bob had some chemistry, a sort of 1 + 1 = 3 sort of thing, and another Cal Western guy, Dennis Whalen, played drums. He sang well and became the band's first frontman. Then they brought in Andrew Lance to play bass. A couple months earlier, Howard and Bob went to some Dead shows in May 1990, which Bob wore his wizard tie-dye shirt, which was pretty unique at the time. A fellow Deadhead had stopped Bob and asked to take a picture, and a couple months later, Bob wore his wizard tie-dye to practice. Upon wearing the shirt, Drew exclaimed, "You're the guy with the tie-dye!" And Bob replied, "You're the guy who took the photo." It was destiny. Daniel Nielsen was an original member on sax. He showed up for a jam, and then he kept showing up. Next thing you know, he was in the band. A woman named Sunshine sang at gigs, taking a mediocre band and elevating it. She didn't follow them to Winston's, and to this day, nobody knows why. Though Monday nights were an ideal, they offered the advantage of, if one of the band's players couldn't make it, the band's subs should be available. And when Dennis got busy lawyering, he moved on in 1997, and that's when Ed joined 27 years ago. Daniel left around early 98, and Paul Bell was brought in on keys to fill his spot. First keys guy in the band. In April 98, Bob left to do sales in Austin. You guys remember that, right? Tyler Grant taking over on lead guitar. Tyler is here. Howard left the band in 2001. It had been 9 years of Monday nights already at this point. Hey, Israel, you in the room? You got your whistle? Can you bring me your whistle? Bob returned from Austin in 2000, but the band was full. Free of other playing commitments, he started jamming with Dave Chisavage on keys and Bob Rosenkrantz on bass and others in a band called Tic Tac Toast. How awesome is that? In late 2002, Tyler left the band for Nashville, where he's had a very successful career, and Bob was asked to rejoin the band. I was supposed to whistle here, but I forgot the whistle. Can you all whistle right now? All right, that's halftime of my speech. A few EWB notes. Bob took a class at Grossmont with the instructor being Fred. And the book assigned to the students was The Sprague Technique, written by Peter. Carl Strauss honored EWB with their very own beer, the Electric Waste Beer. With ingredients sourced from Grateful Dead songs, it featured rosebuds, sugar magnolias, and scarlet begonias. I didn't know those were ingredients. I thought they were just dead songs. Halftime over. When I asked Bob if they ever considered playing original music, he said, well, there was some original music, but it wasn't a focus of the band. They were a dead band. They met at shows and were drawn together by the music of the dead. They were deadheads. One of my favorite Bob quotes is, I just really wanted to play my favorite music. When Bob rejoined in December 2002, it was a challenge to the only guitar player in a four-piece band playing Grateful Dead music. By fall of 2003, when Bob was just getting comfortable in his role, Mark Fisher poked his head into Winston's and said, looks like you guys could use another guitar player. And they went, hell yeah! Better gigs followed in front of bigger crowds, and the band was, another quote I loved, a group trying to work together as a team to serve the music and make things happen. Drew left in 2011, and Bob Rosencrantz joined the band. I love it. Dave replaced Paul in 2013. It was not always easy. In 2017, Danny Campbell joined Ed, and they did a double drum setup like the Dead themselves for 6 years. In 2018, the band gained notoriety playing at the Skull and Roses Festival, but things really got fun in 2019. In spring of 2019, the band had an evening slot at Skull and Roses, and then Bill got them booked at Petco Park, playing before a Padres game. In late summer, the band went up to Sweetwater in Mill Valley, where they played with original Dead guitarist Bob Weir, thanks to Bill. They were featured on ESPN's Top 10 Plays that night. It was unbelievable. In fall of 2019, EWB was honored by the City of San Diego, the State House of Representatives, and the State Senate, and the U.S. House of Representatives for their service to the community. Eric Gabriel replaced Dave on keys, playing his first gig before thousands of people at the 2019 OB Oktoberfest. No pressure there. With tentative dates at Skull and Roses, the Padres, and Sweetwater, and Carl Strauss Brewing Electric Waste Beer, honored by multiple government agencies, none of which were the authorities, thank you. The band was looking forward to 2020 when COVID hit and everything stopped. And no one played gigs during the pandemic except a few weeks in, EWB asked Winston's if they could live stream from the stage. Got their okay, and have been live streaming Monday nights ever since to living rooms and cell phones around the world. My last favorite Bob quote, we kept it going for a long time, brought joy to a lot of people. I had no idea that this would be the payoff for the whole thing. The relationship with all these people, those are awesome people. For 32 plus years, Electric Waste Band has been an inspiration for generations. The regulars who come out on Monday night call it church. They say we're going to church. Here we are now celebrating what you've all accomplished in a church. And it's clear why you all belong in the San Diego Music Hall of Fame. Thank you for all you've done for San Diego music. It is my honor to welcome you to the San Diego Music Hall of Fame. We're gonna dance now if you want. Give it up for the Electric Waste Band.